Well, hello and welcome to your November's monthly numerology with me, Jennifer, here at Metaphysical Roundtable. I mean, you know, this is just for people that haven't been here before. Like most of you know me, you know my cats, Mercury and Mouse. Those are the office cats. They're the ones that don't get along with anybody else. I know. We have people like that in our lives, don't we? I mean, all of us. Yeah. So, couple things. Just letting you know, just a couple of housekeeping things here. I have recorded most of the numerology personal life path numbers already. So some of them I forgot to flip the camera until the end, and we're gonna forgive that. Okay, maybe it's just one or two. I don't know. I can't remember because I haven't done the editing yet. But I just want to apologize for the state of my nails. They're a mess. They are a mess. I have been doing a lot of cleaning out because October for me, my personal numerology is change. And I've been cleaning out, I've been cleaning up, and my mother-in-law is coming, and I love her, and I just wanted her to have a comfortable space. Anyway, I've been working outside a lot, to say the least. Also, please forgive the cat hair, because for some reason, I chose to wear black on camera. Why did I do that? I'm surrounded by animals. I have 3 dogs and more cats in the house, so it's kind of crazy. I don't know why I chose to do that, but there we have it. There we are, covered in cat hair, so please forgive that as well. Now that I've begged for forgiveness, I want to do something a little different. I want to tell you the crystal of the month first. All right, before I get into the astrology of like the month of November, because it is very interesting, but I want to talk about this lovely, lovely crystal that we have for November, and that is Rainbow Moonstone. Now, it is not like rainbow fluorite that has like a whole bunch of colors. Rainbow Moonstone is just not coming into focus. Rainbow Moonstone is black and white, and it is glorious. I mean, it's so glorious. I have some on a little pedestal. Oh my gosh. This one's a little rough. It's not tumbled. These are all partially polished. This one is partially polished on the top where the peak is, and then it's rough on the bottom. It's so beautiful. It really is. I love the Rainbow Moonstone. This was introduced to me by a lovely young man at a local metaphysical shop, Heart, Soul, and Art. Love this. This is so awesome. He's a Cancer, so he said that this resonated with him. And I get that because I'm going to tell you the meaning and you're going to understand. I want to show you an example of Moonstone and then the Rainbow Moonstone. There is a bit of a difference. This is more white, and it obviously has like, black in it. And of course, this is just Moonstone, regular Moonstone. Nothing's wrong with regular Moonstone. It has also been a feature on this show. So, I digress. But the Rainbow Moonstone, the reason why I wanted to show you the regular Moonstone is because Rainbow Moonstone is an amplified version of Moonstone. It's all that and more. Yeah. I got the information for Rainbow Moonstone from, of course, as always, the Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy and a couple other books, but primarily from the sagegoddess.com and the crystalcouncil.com. I've used them before. I like their website. That will be in the description box below. I have been remembering to put that in there. Are you impressed? I mean, I'm impressed with me. What are you going to do? So, Rainbow Moonstone is, it's opening up. It's opening yourself up to cycles. In fact, this stone is called the Cycle of Cycles. And it absolutely rings true because this stone runs with the phases, the cycles of the moon. Moonstone. Who would have thought? But this is it is an amazing energetic stone because it's an energy clearer. It's a physical body clearer. It's just, it eases stress, anxiety, assists with transitions. It's a gateway to the higher self and the divine feminine. Because remember, Cancer, Moon, Moonstone, all divine feminine, right? It's really great. This stone brings in joy, celebration, gratitude. It shows you the possibilities. Okay, it shows you the possibilities, so it's really good for manifesting. If you've got something going on this month that you're trying to get started, and yes, we have Mercury retrograde, but I'm going to go into that. If you're trying to get something started, if you're trying to clear something up, this stone is great for, if you meditate with it, showing you the possibilities of what could happen, what could take place. Okay, it is great for manifesting. It's great for expansion. So all of you that are going into a 7-month, or if you are a life past 7, this is a fantastic one for that expansion, that spiritual expansion, right? It's great for emotional balance, increases intuition. So this might be something that you want to put in your dream jar, beside your bed, or just sit it beside your bed, put it in your pocket, carry it around with you. This is great for spiritual protection, clarity, and creativity to your spiritual path. Now, when I say creativity and clarity, like spiritual protection, all in your spiritual path, is when you are walking on your path. A lot of people want to attack that, right? A lot of people are just like, I don't like that they're doing so good, and I'm in a really crappy place, so let me throw some mud their way. Let me do some destruction. We don't love that here. We don't. But this is the reality. So this stone is great for the crown chakra, and it's great for that wonderful, all-encompassing, bringing clarity, creativity, and spiritual protection while you are walking your path. And especially those of us that are on our path, or maybe just slightly adjacent to our path. Maybe we need some help getting on our path. This is a great crystal for it. I'm in. I love it. I'm just really excited about it. The other reason that I really was like looking at this stone for this month, this crystal for this month, is because it is great with transitions. It's great during transitional times. It's great with helping you during any kind of transitional moment, a transitional time, whatever. The thing is, we are in a transitional year. This is a 9-year in numerology. I may have mentioned that, but it's a transitional time. And we are also transitioning from the 9-year into the 1-year. Like in November, we're going to start feeling that, like, I don't want to say separation, but this is sort of the bridge. All right. November and December, January and February are the bridge into, like, from the old into the new. And this stone is a fantastic transitional stone. It's a great help with our transition from the 9 to the 1. I know. You see where I'm at? This is this is really where I wanted to go with this particular stone. So if you're a life path 9, or if you're in a 9-month, again, this is a fantastic stone for you. So I am going to do a giveaway. I know last giveaway I did was for labradorite. By the way, labradorite, if you pair this stone with labradorite, it is fantastic for manifesting. It's fantastic for really getting what it is that you want out of life. So there's a thought. Labradorite was the stone for September. Yes. Because smoky quartz has been the stone for this month. So labradorite was the stone for September. So if you pair it with labradorite, it's super fantastic. All right. So the last time I ran the giveaway, it was if you made comments. and that I would pull I would pull it at the end of the month on my live show for metaphysical practices, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to do the same thing this time. We are giving away this lovely girl. I know, I know. And yes, the last winner is allowed to submit. So make sure you comment on your life path. If you comment even on the mid-month check-in ones, I count that. I will put your name in a hat, or more likely just on my table, and I will pull your name from there. Yeah, I did that on the last live show. So the cards, just before I forget, the cards I'm using today are, of course, Moonology Oracle cards and the Goddess Guidance Oracle deck. You know, and you know how I feel about these cards. I love them. The book gives so much information that I read from the book on that. Okay, now, here's a quick little overview of November's astrology. If you want to dive deeper into astrology, I highly, highly encourage it. Okay. There's lots of great astrologers out there. There's many, many out there that are just absolutely wonderful. They're astounding. I mean, I have my favorites. I have the people that I look at all the time, and then I sometimes just Google or go down a YouTube rabbit hole of astrologers and just to see what everybody has to say, because again, just a little bit different, just a little bit of a different take on the same thing that we're all seeing, right? So for me, I mean, Deborah Silverman, Marin Altman, Molly McCord, all of these are people that other people have sent to me, and I've just really resonated with them. If you do not resonate with those people, just look it up on YouTube. See who like fits your bill, you know what I mean? And see how you feel about their take on astrology. So again, this is just a quick overview of the astrology for November. There's a lot of transits going on in November. There's a lot of stuff like moving in and out. There's, Mercury's going retrograde. Yeah, Mercury's going retrograde. Things are moving. There's just there's a lot of movement, all right? And I know that the world never stops. The universe never stops. It is constantly moving. But these transits are pretty significant. I mean, so I just want to say this is a quick overview. I'm going to tell you some of these trines. I'm going to tell you some of the oppositions, and I'm going to tell you that they're going to affect the moon, or they're going to affect the feeling or whatever. I encourage you to look it up, because until I have an astrology show on here on this channel again, like I used to, I don't want to go into detail with numerology. I just want to give you the overview. And yes, I am thinking of separating the astrology altogether from the intro, but real quick, we're going to get through this. Okay? Yay. Okay. So on November 1st, we have All Saints Day, and there's no transits that day. Merry Christmas. Well, not really. On November 2nd, in the United States and maybe in other parts of the world, not all of the United States though, we have daylight savings time that hits us. Kind of looking forward to that, but that's a different story. We have Venus square Jupiter. This is a good kind of square, okay? Usually squares, I'm just like, oh, that's challenging, because it usually is, but Venus square Jupiter is a good square, okay? Mars trying Neptune on November 3rd. Fun. On the 4th, Mars is moving into Sagittarius. So Mars is moving from a sign that it loves. It loves being in Scorpio. Yay. It loves being in Scorpio, and now Mars is moving to Sagittarius, which is a little more flighty, let's say, spontaneous. Yes. A little more unpredictable. So that's interesting. Okay. Mars is also opposing Uranus, which is still in Gemini. Keep that in mind, because that's a doozy right there. That Mars opposing Uranus is a big deal. It is actually going to affect the full moon, which is on the 5th of November. Full moon in Taurus that hits its peak at 8:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that Mars opposition of Uranus is going to have an effect on this usually quiet and steady and stable full moon. Yeah. Isn't that fun? On the 6th of November, we have Venus moving into Scorpio. Venus is also moving from its home because Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Venus is moving from Libra into Scorpio. It's not its favorite place because it's in opposition of Taurus and it rules Taurus. So little iffy for Venus. Not the worst place for Venus because Venus does not like being in Virgo. You know, your girl's not happy in Virgo, and I get it. But Venus in Scorpio is a little dark for Venus. Let's say that. Yeah. Almost lost my place. Okay, on the 7th, we have Uranus retrograding back into Taurus. So for the last few months, we've had an idea, we've had a little preview of what Uranus in Gemini is going to be like for the next 7 years. Uranus is not going to return to Gemini until the spring of 2026. I can't remember if it's March or April, but Uranus returns to Gemini at that time and will be there for the full ride after that, 7 years. Uranus in Gemini is a very open time. It's great for inventors. It's great for new ways of thinking, new technology. So that is awesome. We love that. Now we move to the 9th where we have Mercury retrograde. Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius. And this is something I get asked all the time. Like, I don't want to start something new. I don't want to, I can't sign any contracts. I can't do any of this during Mercury retrograde. And I agree. I am double ruled by Mercury. I try not to start new stuff during Mercury retrograde because I get hit by it pretty hard. But I try not to sign contracts during that time. However, there's another man that I follow here on YouTube. He has Minnow Pond Tarot, and his name is Chris. And he says, and I really like this take on it. He's like, you can't stop your life because Mercury has gone retrograde. You cannot stop anything from happening. If you need to start something new, if you need to sign contracts, just be careful about it. Just pay attention to the details because this is what Mercury is all about. So, I mean, communication, details, electronics, but please make sure you back up your computer, back up your phone, back up your systems, and read thoroughly any contracts that you have to sign. If you have to start something new now, that's okay. Just take note that you're probably going to have to come back and rework some kinks in the system. And if you have started something new, like in the past, this is a good time to work out some of the kinks in those systems, okay? Whether it's a relationship, a job, a business, whatever it is that you're doing, this is a good time to work out the kinks, to redo some things, to revisit. Excellent time for that. I mean, really, it is. So Mercury retrograde doesn't have to be a Debbie Downer. Yeah. On the 11th, we have Jupiter going retrograde in Cancer. On the 12th, we have Mars conjunct Mercury in Sagittarius. This is not a good conjunction. It's really not. It's kind of over the top. Yeah. I just want to say it's a little unpleasant, okay? Mars, God of War, colliding, conjunct, Mercury, the planet of communication. It can be a challenging time for communication, okay? Just be aware of that. Then we have on the 18th, we have Mercury retrograding back into Scorpio. Not unhappy about that. On the 19th, we have Mercury opposing Uranus and Taurus. Now, here's the thing. Mercury opposing Uranus really can throw a wrench in our communication, and all these oppositions that we're feeling, all these conjunctions that we're feeling that are not of the happiest nature can cause us to have some really bad communications during this Mercury retrograde, and it can cause us to be a little bit paranoid about the communications that we're having. So you don't need to add dialogue where there is none. You do need to be clear and concise during this time. Please, for the love of all that is holy. Yeah. All right. We also have Mercury trine Neptune, which is a positive thing. It is. I mean, because Neptune is our dreamy, our dreamy state. We love that. But Mercury trine Neptune at the same time that Mercury is opposing Uranus could bring in some, I don't want to say like delusional, but we could have some illusions about the Mercury opposing Uranus. And remember, we just got over the Mercury conjunction with Mars. Things can be a little heated right now. Okay, let's don't invite the illusions in. Let's be nice. Yeah. On the 19th or the 20th, depending on your time zone here, okay? I'm going to go with the 20th because I am on the East Coast. But the new moon in Scorpio hits its peak at 1:47 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 20th. If you were on the West Coast, it is going to be on the 19th, okay? The new moon in Scorpio is going to happen on the 19th. We also have on the 21st, the sun moving into Sagittarius. Ha! Happy birthday, Sagittarians. On the 22nd, we have the first of two really positive trines. We have Mercury trine Saturn and Jupiter. Mercury is in Scorpio, Saturn is in Pisces, and Jupiter, of course, is in Cancer. This is a very positive trine. We love it. It really could bring us out of the depths of this miscommunication that we've been having with this Mercury retrograde and all of its little like conjunctions and oppositions. This could bring in a fresh breath of air. That's all I'm saying. On the 24th, we have Mercury conjunct Venus. Again, this could be a little bit of fresh air coming in. Yeah. And communicating with those that we love. Yeah. On the 26th, we have our second very positive trine of Venus in Scorpio, Jupiter in Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. These are fantastic, and this trine is going to last just a smidge longer because Saturn goes direct the next day on the 27th of November, which is Thanksgiving. Here in the US, sorry, there's Thanksgiving in other countries and it's not the same day. That's Thanksgiving here in the US. On the 29th, we have Mercury going direct in Scorpio. We also have Venus opposing Uranus. That's, again, just go dive deep in that rabbit hole. It can be good. It can. It's not as bad as some, but on the 30th, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius, so out of its dark time, yeah, and into Sagittarius. Venus is also trine Neptune, which is in Pisces. So this is a very good time. This is a lot of stuff happening in November. I think that it's going to be a wonderful transitional month. We have a lot of planets that are hopping around in and out of retrograde. Of course, the universe is never stagnant. I said that before, but there's a lot of stuff that I feel like is important happening in November. It's a good lead in to our transition from this 9-year into the 1 year. So really looking forward to November. We end the month with Uranus retrograde in Taurus, Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, South Node in Virgo, Mercury in Scorpio, Sagittarius is hosting Venus, Mars, and the Sun. Pluto is still in Aquarius for the foreseeable future. Pisces has Neptune retrograde, Saturn direct, and of course, North Node. So that wraps us up with 3 planets in retrograde at the end of November, 4 in water plus North Node, 2 in fire plus the Sun, 1 in earth plus south node, and 1 in air. Yes. All right, so that brings us to the end of November, and I really am excited to like get through this transitional time, but I'm very happy that we're getting Mercury retrograde over with before we hit Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's. Yes. All right, let's stay tuned for your individual numerology. And remember, November and December, you're going to see those repeating numbers in January and February with just a slight twist on it because we'll be in a 1 year in 2026 versus the 9 year that we're in right now. All right, let's see what we got for you. Well, hello, Life Path 11. November for you is going to be very interesting because it's a 22-4 month. Now, I want to tell you, you may already have a little bit of a difficult time because Venus is in Scorpio. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just a dark period for Venus. It's okay. But it is challenging. And then we have Mercury going retrograde. Not the worst thing ever, but it's annoying, right? Well, guess what? The 22-4 vibration together likes to build and strengthen relationships. Oh yeah. And you carry the vibration of the 2 as well. You carry the foundation of the 2 because, you know, you're sort of a part of a couple, 11-2. But the thing is, even though the 2 is all about love, harmony, relationships, that kind of stuff, you are very much the visionary. So you can see what's going to happen. You're a master visionary, actually. And I love that you have high expectations, and I love that you're creating a new way of embracing others, creating a new way of communicating. But this may not be exactly the month for that because, again, it's going to be a little bit challenging with Mercury in retrograde. And there's lots of other stuff going on. I'm not even going to go into it right now, but I want to tell you about the 4. All right. So the 4 vibration, the mantra of the 4 is, I am a builder, confident and steadfast, seeking order and accomplishment. Well, we love that because the 4 vibration is all about building. It's building everything, structures, relationships, businesses, families, friendships, whatever. Like, let's build a concrete and solid, like, entrepreneurship. Let's build a really, like, solid job space for ourselves, or a family, or a home, or whatever. It can be a little trying when Venus, our planet of love and money, is in a really interesting place. Dark place, okay? And Venus and Mercury is retrograde. So there are some good things in astrology, but again, I'm not going to focus on that. Speaking of focus, this is going to be really something that's important here is staying focused during this month, because the 4 vibration is about manifesting. So whatever you're focused on, whatever you're thinking about, you're going to be manifesting it. You're going to be bringing that in, and whether you're doing it on purpose or you're doing it by accident, you need to watch what you're focusing on, and you need to stay focused on some positive stuff, even during tumultuous moments, let's say. Yeah. This is a fantastic time to put things in order. This is a great time to remove clutter, get your life organized, but it is definitely a time to be patient. Be patient with yourself, be patient with others, be patient with how long it takes to build relationships, businesses, jobs, knowledge, whatever this is. Be practical and be focused, but be patient. Again, this is a great manifesting energy. It is. The thing about it is like the 4 is stable. is stability. It is. And it's very grounding for that 11 energy, for this 11 vibration. The lesson of the 4 is to take one step after another with patience and an open mind. And that leads me to the shadow sides here. Some of the shadow sides of the 4 is overwork will cause stress. Well, duh, right? So we don't want to work ourselves into a place of high blood pressure. And this is coming from a Life Path 22-4. And I can do it, let me tell you. Give me 5 minutes and I will work myself into a frenzy. This is a time for you to take it easy, move in moderation. Don't overwork yourself into a stressful place. Seriously, what is wrong? When you start overworking yourself too much, you get too serious. And then when you get too serious, you stop paying attention to your imagination. You stop being that master visionary that you are. That's not where we need to be. It is definitely not where we need to be during, again, a Mercury retrograde. Keep yourself open, be flexible, be your usual visionary self, okay? But don't take things too seriously. This is really important. I just want to emphasize that for a second before I move on to the 22. The vibration of the 22 is, again, it's a lot like the 4. I love my cats, but this is driving me crazy. Just stuff. The vibration of the 22 is, the mantra of the 22 is, I ignite the torch of discovery and healing within my world. The 22 vibration is a spiritual master builder. Not like the master architect, the master builder, the alchemist that we see in the 44. This is all about spiritual building. The 22 vibration wants to help people move more towards a real positive change. It's like trying to help humanity say, hey, we need to do this. We need to really focus on this. So that's what the 22 vibration is wanting to do. It's very environmental. Oh my gosh. 22 vibration is environmentally conscious and very, I almost want to say practical with it. We can be impractical, but the vibration is a practical one. Because it wants to use practical wisdom, practical knowledge. Like, let's don't go overboard. Let's do this the right way. The other thing about the 22 vibration is that they like to build and strengthen relationships. Maybe relationships that you already have, or relationships that you are trying to cultivate. This is again, the healer, the counselor, the arbitrator. If there's things, issues happening, they want to get to the bottom of it and say, all right, go to your corners. Let's figure this out. Let's work this out. But they want relationships to be in a solid, strong place. Again, a little challenging with Venus and Scorpio. The great thing is that you are highly intuitive Life Path 11, and the vibration of the 22 is incredibly intuitive. A lot of guides here. So you may have a lot more guides come into you during this month, during November. And which is fantastic because you are really showing the importance of strong bonds in relationships. And trying to educate people about the environmental issues. Just little things. The mantra. The lesson of the 22 is to push through procrastination and feelings of overwhelmment in order to embrace their true life's purpose. And again, this leads me to the shadow side. The shadow side of the 22 is just going, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. There's too many problems to solve. I can't do it. And just giving up. Worrying themselves into a frenzy. And then because they feel like there's too many problems to solve and there's worry everywhere, they start procrastinating. this is not where we all need to be. This is not the vibration of where we need to be as a society. And you, my friend, are the first of the master numbers. You're leading us. So please don't fall prey to this shadow side. I know. Because part of your shadow side is that you could second guess yourself and it really causes you to be too sensitive. Listen, honor your spiritual gifts, listen to your intuition, and for the love of all that is holy, watch what you say and when you say it this month. Because of where Venus is and because Mercury is retrograde and there's a lot of clashes. I mean, there's some good stuff happening too, astrologically. This is just something you need to be aware of. The 22 is really a luminary. And I feel like that vibration it does like go hand in hand with you. It does. I mean, you're pretty open most of the time. I'm married to an 11 too. So I can say firsthand. All right, let's see what kind of advice cards we get for you. Ooh, Freya. Bold. I like this card. Bold. Freya. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Oh, that is a bold woman. Take risks and be daring. Freya. Well, it's not wrong. But when you're taking risk, please still be patient. I mean, manifesting is a huge part of the 22-4, but man, be patient. Be patient. It does take a minute to manifest because manifesting is work. It is. And honestly, the vibration of the 4 is all work. It is. But manifesting is work, and just make sure that you okay, just trying to see, something was wrong over there. But just make sure that you're seeing like it takes some time. Okay, be patient. Manifesting is not sitting on your ass watching the Love Boat drinking a Coors. It's work. That's why 4s are so good at it. Full moon in Taurus. Your dreams need a practical plan. Full moon in Taurus. Let me tell you something about this. Because you're here to create dreams into reality or convert dreams into reality, to convert fantasy into action, this is perfect for you. And the 22-4 energy is all about practical wisdom, practical work. I mean, practical building, being industrious and stable. That is very interesting that this card should come for you. That is very interesting. I pulled a lot of full moon cards today, which I find interesting in and of itself. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. I forgot to flip the camera again. Sorry. Sometimes you need to weave a bit of magic, and sometimes you need to be practical. And sometimes you need to find a combination of the two. I think you and the 22 is a combination of the two. Yeah. This card suggests that this is where you are now. You need to use the laws of attraction to draw in what you want by imagining it, expecting it, welcoming it, but you need to balance that with taking down-to-earth steps towards your goals. This is perfect. You're the law of attraction, and the 22-4 is manifesting. That is very true. This isn't about wishing on the moon and hoping for the best. It's about making something like a list of bullet points about how to achieve your dreams. If you're asking about money, this card heralds a change of financial fortunes depending on both your past actions and what you're expecting, and therefore attracting. Write down 10 things that you know are wonderful about you. I like this. I like this. Oh my gosh. Because you do need to just say, I am pretty great. I am pretty dang great. Thank you so much for joining me today, Life Path 11. I hope your November rocks the Casbah. Don't forget, if you want to get entered to win this pretty little girl, the Rainbow Moonstone, please make sure you comment under your Life Path video or under the mid-month check-in for numerology. And I will make sure to get you entered to win this pretty little girl at the end of November. Great. And it will certainly help us in the coming year. Again, I hope you have a wonderful November. And until we see each other next, get out there and make your magic. Bye.